Okay. Podcast, what do we say? Not zero,
Negative
it's
one.
negative one.
Yep.
Podcast negative
Negative
one
one.
in our not acoustically treated podcasting room. This is before the podcast. So, and I'm stoked to have you here, Alex, because
Thanks for having me.
I mean, this is something you and I've discussed for a little while, and it's finally
coming to
happening.
life.
It is. It's what, 4 walls and a vision.
Mhm.
Yeah, here we are. So yeah, it's cool. Alex, I'm going to start with introducing you. It's going to make a lot more sense to do it that way. I'll introduce you, and we'll go from there, man. Then I want to talk about what we're doing here. So, I mean, Alex, you've been in the industry for how many years now, in terms of videography?
5 years.
5 years. And when we spoke about it, you know, you're a storyteller, and the way you explained it to me is that you're someone that helps people, not just businesses, but people, tell their story, and that's important. I mean, remembering that, and I talk about this a lot myself, but the person behind the professional is something people often forget. And
The
talk
people,
to
people
yeah.
behind the business, and
Yeah. So talk to us about that. Tell us about you, and then we can get into what we're doing here.
yeah. So I'm a musician. Actually, that's where it all started. That's where the creative flair came
Okay.
from. I then down the track found an equal creative passion in photography, which led me on to videography.
Yep.
Since then, I figured I could help people with getting their message out there.
Yeah.
People, personal brands, businesses, businesses that they're great at what they do in their field, but their work speaks for themselves, but they don't even know how to showcase their work.
Yeah.
They don't know how to tell people what they do effectively,
Yeah.
or how they do it, or what separates them from other similar businesses.
I like that you said personal brand, because for me, whenever someone says to me, when I talk to them, I'm like, what's a brand piece? They'll often go, well, a logo, blah, blah, blah. And that's not your brand piece.
No.
The logo is part of your branding, but it's not your brand piece. So you're helping people with their brand piece, as in who they are as a brand.
It's their messaging
and telling their story. Yeah. And I mean, I've heard it explained as, what do people talk about when you leave the room? That's your brand. So you help them deliver that to customers, to users, and mainly on website at the moment.
Website, social media, online presence, anything omnipresence, that kind of thing.
Okay.
Digital.
So that's kind of where you and I cross paths. I mean, we're working on websites together.
Yeah.
We've done a couple of projects now, and I think that's obviously what I've said to you yourself, is that what I quite liked about your approach is it's a listening first approach.
Yep, 100%.
It's not a case of, oh, this is the service I offer, this is the product I offer. When I spoke to you and we did what we spoke about what we're doing, I wanted to do, your question to me first was, what do you want to do? And I didn't quite understand, because
what are you trying to achieve?
Yeah, exactly. And for me, it was like, I want to do a podcast. You know, and that evolvedness is so much more than just making a podcast, because now I understand a lot more. You know, for me, it was like, oh, I'm going to buy gear and I want this, and you know, it's all the bells and whistles, and you know, typical. I don't know, but I love tech. You know, and that was where my mind went. And being someone in the industry I'm a content creator myself, but from an SEO perspective, I should have known better. And you know, talking to you, obviously, it's come full circle, and I'm hearing a lot of my own words back to me, which is pretty cool, actually,
from someone else's perspective.
Yeah,
as well.
But it's specifically around the video, etc. So, dude, I mean, in terms of this, do you mind if we move on and let's talk about what we're doing here, what we're trying to achieve?
Yep.
And then you can tell me. I'd like you to get into a bit about the gear, why we chose the gear we've chosen, and then like I said, we're going to do like the actual podcast, which is us then in the treated room. So
that's the next step, isn't it?
That's the next step. Yeah. So doing this, let's talk about the gear that we've chosen. If that's cool, we'll move into that, and then I'll let you talk on that a bit, and tell me why you put me this way. Because I mean, my idea with this, I'll tell you. Let's put it this way. I wanted to put a podcast studio together. That one thing that I could do podcasts, because it's something I'm passionate about. For me, it's like it's genuinely a dream come true. But also, I do believe that there's a big piece for business, and the individuals behind business and the individuals behind those businesses to get their message across, as you say. And I don't think a landing page does that enough justice. Sometimes they do need that piece where they can meet the person. I mean, a simple tradie, meeting a tradie before he walks into your house, it's a huge thing. So I'm like, oh, that's the guy that's coming to be in my house, especially when you're potentially there on your own to meet the person that's going to be walking into your home.
Yeah. How much more does that help you with
Massively.
trust?
So from my perspective as a SEO or a digital marketer, that was my thinking behind this. And then obviously that's grown into so much more. So that was my position on this in terms of explaining that we want to have opportunity to do single, opportunity to do dual podcasting.
Podcast.
But I think the aim that we both agreed on ultimately is that it has to be very easy and friction free. So the gear we've chosen, number one, is quality, but number two, and not second to it, but as important, but number two is the fact that it's easy to use or going to be, ease of use.
Ease of use.
So do you mind talking us through that?
Yeah. So when we first started talking about it, what you wanted to achieve was high quality.
Yep.
Particularly in terms of audio.
Yep.
And user friendly.
Yep.
So people can come in and get to work on what it is and be comfortable.
Yeah. Help
right?
that creative process. And as we said, not paralysis by analysis.
Yeah, exactly. Okay. So in terms of the quality, we've then guided you on what to use in terms of gear. So these microphones.
Yeah, the Shure, yep.
Yep. And the Rodecaster.
Yep.
Right. And what else are we doing in this space?
So we're going to have the acoustic treatment that we discussed. So that was a big thing.
Yep. And that's soundproofing.
Part I didn't really think of quite as much. I mean, I'm going to do it now, but how much that bounces off the freaking walls.
Yeah, absolutely.
And I knew it would be an issue, but I never realized to what degree. Having a room that's actually treated, not just a couple of little bits and pieces, and how etiquette is. We get into podcast etiquette in all its own segment, but just that part alone in terms of treating the room.
Yeah,
that was something that obviously was an eye opener for me.
Well, what we should do as well is compare this. We'll take this exact snippet out of this podcast, and we'll use it in the next one just as an example.
That'd be a good idea
of the difference of sound quality from what we're putting into this room.
Because I think for me, I'm like, oh, it's got a carpet, it's got soft furnishings.
Yeah, that's enough.
You know what I mean? You do, like as someone that doesn't understand.
People don't know. Yeah. You don't know until you're here figuring it out.
Yeah, the difference. Yeah. And having heard it, and that was the other thing too, I think was the earphones. Having listened to that now that when we're setting up with Meg is helping us with audio setup. Listening through and hearing it back, because right now you and I can't necessarily hear it. And I think that's the other thing as a beginner. And being able to hear what it's actually going to sound like before the fact and having it set up properly
gives confidence.
It does, absolutely. But it's an eye opener.
Yeah.
In terms of like everything I do is, that's why we won't have the setup in that new room.
No.
We're going to have the setup that will stop people from
exactly,
doing all that stuff.
Yep.
They won't be able to. So, and I think that's a big part of what a lot of people, I never thought about, but I think is very important. Is those hours and hours and hours of things that you have to learn. Like I've learned in 5 minutes that
movements.
Don't do that.
All your movements.
I've learned in 5 minutes, don't do that. But the new studio will mean that all of that learning curve is gone.
Yep. So people don't need to worry about that.
Yeah. So that I'm really looking forward to that. And for myself too, someone I love this sort of thing. I've been coaching for years.
Yeah.
So I'm really looking forward to, giving the message on how to, get involved in things like this, and obviously from a digital marketing point of view, my EMS and all that sort of stuff, but without having to have that steep learning curve of like, is this right? Is that right? Etc. It's just removing all that stress. I think you put it well. You said safe place, and I think it's true. I mean, never mind the fact that it's going to be such a nice spot to be.
It'll be nice.
It really does. That we got all that acoustic stuff. It just place is a different place. It's like a little safe place. I like that. Yeah.
What a game changer, being able to come in, I mean, hypothetically book an hour.
Yeah.
Imagine what you can get done not having to set up, not having to think about all these external factors, gear, stuff. Like I was saying to you before, I do this stuff at home. It takes me minimum 45 minutes to set up.
Yeah, exactly. I think we were joking about that earlier, weren't we, too? I mean, the wife gives you half an hour. You got the dining room table for half an hour, then we've got to set up for dinner. And then you got to come back tomorrow. You got to take it all down, then put it back up again tomorrow. And was the sun where it was, etc.
What a nightmare!
Again, all of that, removing all of those things. Yeah. So, I mean, the technical elements is obviously huge, And that's something we're trying to remove or limit as much as possible with the new setup.
Yeah.
We want to take the tele.
Well, we're doing the work already, so that it's there ready to go, so they don't have to worry about it.
Yeah.
Right?
And the reason we're doing that is so that they can focus on delivering their message.
Their content.
Yeah.
Which is what's important, which is what no one does enough of these days.
Yeah.
And which is why we want to make this available to everyone.
Yeah. And shifting, it's a shift in focus. Which lens, I mean, we're talking about lenses and stuff like that. That's ridiculous. With some people you can help them with that and get it all dialed in, and the sound. It is the right setup for the right marks and
the sound quality is more important than the video quality in something like this, when it's educational, if it's storytelling, if it's anything speaking, the video quality doesn't matter. The audio quality is everything.
Absolutely. Yeah. No, I agree. I must be honest, I'm very, very stoked to hear the sound that's coming out. It's absolutely brilliant. So that's what we're putting together. And the reason we're doing all that is so people can deliver the message they want to do, and set and forget and move forward. And then focus on their workflow. So let's talk through for a second on the barriers for entry for a lot of people trying to get into this, because there's a number of them that we've discussed before, but just talk to me about those specific issues that people have and the mistakes they might make in getting into this area, whether it's podcasting or whether it's just video in general.
I mean, gear is one of the biggest ones.
Yeah.
People don't know what gear they need.
Yeah.
Like, there are so many different kinds of microphones, interfaces, softwares, all of that kind of stuff. Editing all the stuff yourself.
And there's a lot of time in editing. I don't think people realize quite how long editing takes.
That's where,
and that's the thing too, though. Having good quality equipment helps with editing. There's significantly less editing, right? If you have quality gear to start with and a quality setup to start with.
Yeah.
So if sound is off in the beginning, you have to fix it post. If lighting's off in the beginning, you have to fix it in post. But having all that set up initially,
well, it's all controlled here,
or managed
in this kind of setup. So it is not something that you have to worry about.
Yeah.
It literally takes it out of the equation.
Yeah.
So there is no wasting time, right?
Yeah. So they can focus on delivering their story.
Pumping out their content.
There we go.
Telling their story.
Great. And I think that's the other thing too, is something we touched on, and like we were talking about beforehand, is the confidence element. Bringing that when you have, I mean, I liken it to wearing a really nice suit. And I think, and for me, that's the thing. Knowing that when we talk into this mic, I'm going to sound the best that I can, that the lighting is going to be the best that it can be. It makes me significantly more confident. You sit up a little bit straighter. You talk a bit more, yourself.
Even feel more professional.
You do,
right?
and you feel the part.
Yeah.
And it's that imposter syndrome that I think I talk about a lot. It's something I've struggled with, and I think most professionals.
Everybody.
Forget about
everyone has
being a camera in your face.
Yeah.
Imposter syndrome and laugh. And it really helps with that. Having proper gear to know that I'm the best possible situation we can be.
You're starting up here.
Yeah.
As opposed to starting down here. And the other thing we were talking about with a space like this is being confident that it's a safe space.
Yeah.
There is acoustic treating. No one out there is going to hear anything that you're doing or saying in here. No one can see anything. You are in a safe space to purely concentrate on getting your message out, however that is, whether it's creativity or storytelling, whatever it is. There's nothing else to worry about.
Yeah, absolutely. I like that. So, I mean, I don't think we'll need to touch much more in terms of this space. I think that'll be for the next one. We'll look at that a bit more and look at what we've done. And then
we'll do a bit of a talk through.
Yeah. We can discuss the changes. And then we can compare the two.
Yep.
So you're going to do a little bit of post-production on this one today, because obviously our space is a bit bouncy.
Yeah, we'll see.
Yeah, so we'll make a bit of a difference there. But other than that, I think the next one we do is in the room next door.
Yeah. Looking forward to it.
Fantastic. Thanks, mate. And appreciate you being on, -1 or -1?
-1. Episode -1.
Awesome. Thanks, mate. Take care.
Alrighty.